It is now a pleasure and an honor to introduce to you your commencement speaker for the day. And for this, no one need check notes. But if you're interested and want to turn to page 4 in your program, you're going to see a biography that is probably unparalleled in this region and much to say about across the country in terms of higher education. This is a woman who came to this campus in 1958, and thank goodness for all of us, has never left. She came here as a young professor, and in December of 1958, she sat through her first ceremony exactly like this one. That same December of 1958, there was a young couple up in Syracuse, New York, that were expecting a baby boy. And if you want to know how you close full circle, of course, that would be me. Born in '59, and I had my chance to meet up with Dr. Kinne when I got here in August of 1977. But here's what I want you to think about. At the age of 98, Dr. Kinne remains today one of the people that many of us on the stage and many people in this region of the country go to on a regular basis to talk about leadership and to talk about service and humility and what it means to actually be a servant leader before that term had ever been coined. And I can tell you as a young athlete here, to walk out on the mound of the baseball field against Miami or Florida State and to look down the line and see the woman in red or canary yellow or bright green sitting there on an 86-degree April afternoon to watch us play ball, it seeps into your brain that that's what a leader does. She spent as much time with those of us who are 18 and 19-year-olds as she did with the deans and the heads of academic affairs and the largest donors. And as we come all the way around now and are so grateful that she'll come back and talk to us today, I hope you know that what Dr. Kinne represents at Jacksonville University is a spirit of giving, continuing to educate herself every day, an honoring of our outstanding faculty, and a focus on our students. So I hope you'll give a very warm welcome to the original one of our own, our commencement speaker today, former president of our university and Chancellor Emerita, Dr. Frances Bartlett Kinne.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure, and it is always a pleasure to be here. I address this to all the distinguished people. Everybody here is distinguished, especially the graduates, and I'm delighted that I have this opportunity. I love to do this. Actually, I will say this. One year, I gave 13 graduate. Well, one reason is they know I'm not going to last very long. And so consequently, one year I gave 13. And I said, I'm not going to do another one. I absolutely am not going to do another one. Of course, he talked me into this one. But he didn't have to talk very hard, because actually the reason I'm coming here is that I love each one of you. am so proud of you. I did have two of the graduates today, and a staff member that said to me, why don't you ever tell them the difficulties that you went through? Believe me, I did. Married into the Army, and I'm very loyal to the NRTC too, as all military, because I was an Army hostess during World War II, long before your parents were born probably. But at any rate, that was an opportunity for me to know. I didn't know much, but I actually ran service clubs where we were able to take care of the soldiers. Then I went on to a place where I was in rehab to help them when they came back after wounds. So I became very close to the military. I still am very close to the military. In fact, anytime I see one, I'm going to salute. Of course, I'm going to salute the graduates anyway, because I'm so proud of you. I really know that you're in the right track. Now, actually, I don't usually keep notes, because I don't usually keep my watch with me. But this is a watch that I use at night that somebody gave me, so that in the middle of the night I can punch it and find out what time it is. So I don't want to go. And I did put a few notes here, because there are some things I think I can help you with your being graduates and going out into the world. Some of you already, and particularly with the graduate degrees, have had this experience. But I should tell you too that one high school in town that I had given the year I gave 13, announce this to you because you have this privilege too. I said to them, they voted me each year. The senior class voted me each year. And I said, I thanked them. I told them it was going to be my last one. I said, it isn't because of what I said. I know that. I know, you know, that I'm going to be brief. And with that, everybody went into applause. So actually, I will tell you also that, because most people say to me, I've heard it even today, how did you get so old? I'm not sure how I got so old. The genes probably help, and I'm going to talk about your genes in just a minute. The couple things that I thought to myself that I should talk to you about. One is something that I have stressed always, and that's persistence. Now, you always think that everything, you deserve everything. We all do this, and we wonder what we have to do to get it. Believe me, I will tell you that for me, persistence was the thing that kept me going. I had made up my mind, for example, that I wanted to bring celebrities in, but we didn't have money. So I had to figure out another way to do it, and that was to get acquainted with them. And I'd had a fortune in doing this I was on the National Council of the Arts for a while, and that gave me a chance to meet a lot of arts people. And so it was an advantage, actually. But this is what I did. I made up my mind one year that I was going to get Bob Hope and Jack Benny on the same program on this campus, going right across this stage. But everybody said I was crazy. At that time, Bob Hope, of course, was world known. His name was even more popular than that of Churchill, because he was on meeting the military here, meeting the military in every island, anywhere there was any combat during World War II and during the Korean War and the Vietnam War. There he was, always. And Jack Benny had the leading TV program at that time. So I started out. It took me 7 years. Now, you would wonder, is anything worth waiting for 7 years? Actually, it was schedules. It was everybody's schedule, my schedule. We had a great basketball team at that time. It was basketball schedules. Everything that had problems. The faculty helped me. The city helped me. The PR of everywhere helped me. And on the day that we finally made it, after 7 years, I always insisted they stay, whoever was going to be here, stay and meet with the students, be with the students, spend times with them, but also spend time in the community, which they did. We had 75 reporters from all over the world, including islands in the Pacific. These people were here and gave us that international publicity. I wish you could have seen what happened the next year to admissions. We had we had 72 countries at one time. And it was strictly because the New York Times ran a story with pictures. The Los Angeles Times wrote a story. So that persistence paid off. I hope you never have to do one that takes 7 years. But don't worry if you're eager to get something, and perhaps it's a promotion, whatever it is, go after it. If you have a job, go early and stay later. Show the side of persistence that will pay you back. It not only pays you back in what you're going to do, but it'll pay you back in happiness. Because I've always said, if you're a positive thinker, you're going to live, according to Mayo Clinic, the study that was made, you're going to live 10 years longer. Well, I'm already on the 10 years, but as far as you're concerned, you've got this hope. So I want you to do it. I want you to feel. There's another thing I want to mention to you. How many times do we say thank you to everybody? I look back on my own life and I think the things that influenced me. And so I decided from now on, fortunately I decided this a few years ago, but I decided I'm going to think of all the people that helped me. I couldn't, for example, on the Bob Hope, Jack Benny, there were hundreds that helped me. Hundreds. And you will have it. How many have helped you? I look at the faculty. We're very fortunate. We have a strong faculty. We have a marvelous faculty, actually. I know this because at one time I was chair of all the independent colleges, and Florida, and including the University of Miami. And I found out that our faculty could be the best ones that you could find, as good as any that you could find anywhere. And that's the truth. So I don't know. I think back, did I ever thank any of my people that I had in college? Well, there was one that I decided, because I thought this would make me feel better and make her feel better. I actually baked an angel food cake, and I'm a terrible baker, so, but I took this angel food cake to her to thank her, and she started to cry. And I thought, oh dear, I should have done this a long time ago. But we don't think. Now, you have parents and supporters and friends that are sitting back there. Think of what they've given up. Think of what they've done for you. And the best thing for you is to actually just say thank you. That's all you have to do. And then you're going to feel better. Now, this is another thing as a positive thinker. You'd be surprised if you suddenly, and this is your day, so don't start it until tomorrow. I want you to be thinking about yourself today, because I'm so proud of you, each one of you, and what you've gone through. I know what you've gone through, because I did it. I did exactly this and worked my way through school. Fortunately, I had parents who were very supportive. I had friends that were very supportive. So do you. So I want you to be sure that you say thank you to them, and that they will understand, including the faculty, because that's very important to you. So these are things, they're simple things. And people would say, see, I'm not worried about you about an academic situation, because you've had the best of academic training. But these little things, these nuances that you can develop and become a part of you, and especially if you're doing something for somebody else, you will find when you do this, and your life is that. And life, again, I say, life is not about me. Life is about others. Right now, my life is you. And if you knew what it meant to me to be here today, the very day after the president had asked me to speak, I found out I had cancer on my leg. The very first thing I said to the doctor was not, oh, I got to take care of this right away, although I said it immediately afterwards. I said, oh, I can't do this because I'm speaking at the graduation. And the doctor looked at me as if I were 65 IQ. As it turned out, I found out at 10 minutes of 5 on that particular day. At 10 minutes after 5, I called my primary doctor. At 10 after 5, I must admit I'm an honorary staff member at Mayo Clinic because I helped bring Mayo here. And that was persistence too. They sent me up to speak to 270 doctors in Mayo to try to convince them to come down here. And I said, you don't know how wonderful it is. It's not the end of civilization there. It's a great place. And so they did come, and now they know it's a great place. But actually what I said to that doctor, I really sincerely meant. And then I said, now take care of me as fast as you can. Then 10 minutes later, I get a call, and they said, can you be on the operating table at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning? And I said, yes, I can be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then they were able to get all of the cancer that was on my leg. I give you credit for this. I really do. But you were my inspiration. I want you to have an inspiration. I want when you leave today, you find, in addition to you're going to remember, I will guarantee you, you're going to remember a faculty member. I will guarantee you this. I get over 2,000 cards at Christmas time, and invariably, and they're from graduates from all throughout the years, invariably they will say, oh, say hi to Walker, or say hi to someone else when you see them, of the faculty. So we know that you're appreciating them in some way. Now I want to tell you thank you, but I also want to say this to you, that you were an example of what I had hoped somebody would be. I adore you. I think it's marvelous. And I'm going to close with this remark and just say, I look forward this marvelous class that you are. I look forward, JU is going to be known and is known all over the world, but believe me, it's going to be known because you're going to be out there just doing what the president did. Now, I promised the president, well, I didn't really promise him this. He had asked me, not to talk about him. So I thought about it, and I'm not really talking about him, but I thought you'd be interested in, well, he actually, you know, I won't say this, but he did pitch the only no-hitter, you know. I'm not going to say it to you, but it won't hurt you to know. And then also, there's something else that I was going to close with, and I will close with this too, because he doesn't like me to talk about him because he's modest, and so I won't. But I think you also should know that he's done such a magnificent job. I don't tell him that, you know, and I think it'd be nice if you don't tell him that I told you. So with that, I'm going to say you're magnificent. You really are, and congratulations to you, and my love to you as you go off and make the world better.